Everyone has heard about Saladin. He was born around 1137 and died in 1193. He is famous for unifying Muslims and taking Jerusalem. But do you know about these 10 facts? You should. 1. Saladin's origins. Saladin's real name is Yusuf ibn Ayyub. Salah al-Din is an epithet meaning mighty defender, righteousness of faith. It was shortened by Westerners to Saladin. Saladin was born in Tikrit, in present-day Iraq, to a Kurdish family. His birth was the same night his family had to leave Tikrit. 2. He received a broad education. Saladin grew up in Damascus, where he became well-versed in every academic field of his time, such as arithmetic and law. His own interests also made him knowledgeable in history, and he also knew the bloodlines of Arabian horses. He spoke Kurdish and Arabic and knew Turkish and Persian. He held a particular passion for the Quran and the sciences of religion and made these areas of study his primary focus. He was more interested in religious studies than in the military. 3. Saladin joined the military when he was 14. Saladin began his military career around the age of 14 when he went to work for his uncle Shurka, who was a high-ranking officer in the army of Nur al-Din. 4. He became an emir. In 1169, Shurka and Saladin took their army to Egypt to help fight off the Crusaders from Europe. When Shurka died, Saladin took control of the army and soon became the emir of Egypt. 5. Saladin gained power and united Islamic factions. For 5 years, he was governing in the name of Nur al-Din. When this one died in 1174, Saladin launched a campaign to take control of the lands of his former master. He took his army to Damascus and claimed Nur al-Din's position. He then spent 12 years fighting to unite the region, and by 1186, Saladin was in control of the Muslim empire. 6. He faced the assassins and turned them into allies. Around 1175, Saladin faced a major threat from the assassins led by Rashid ad-Din Sinin. It is said that while he was besieging one of the assassins' fortresses, he woke up during the night to see hot scones next to his bed, with a note pinned by a poisoned dagger. The note threatened that he would be killed if he did not withdraw from his assault. Saladin managed to propose a peace treaty that was accepted, and Sinin, the assassin's leader, helped Saladin in his battles with troops numerous times. 7. Saladin captured Jerusalem. In 1187, following the failure of his Kerak siege, Saladin won the Battle of Hattin against the Crusaders, who were almost annihilated. 3 months later, Saladin captured Jerusalem. The Frankish inhabitants threatened to kill Muslim hostages and destroy Islamic holy shrines if they were not granted quarter. A low ransom was agreed upon for each Frank, but left the 15,000 poorest ones to be enslaved. Saladin allowed many families who could not afford the ransom to leave and summoned Jews to resettle in the city. 8. He was chivalrous. If we still hear about Saladin today, it's not only because of his conquests. He demonstrated graciousness and greatness of soul in his actions that were not expected. His decision to spare the Christians of Jerusalem, rather than killing them for revenge, is proof of his noble character. This particular action made Saladin a significant figure in the Christian world, where he was admired for his kindness. 9. Saladin fought against Richard the Lionheart. The Battle of Hattin and the conquest of Jerusalem led to the Third Crusade, led by Richard the Lionheart. In 1191, Saladin met him at the Battle of Arsuf, at which Saladin's forces suffered heavy losses and were forced to withdraw. Richard was able to take many lands in the region, but could not take Jerusalem, despite defeating Saladin's forces again at the Battle of Jaffa. Saladin and Richard discussed terms and kept control of Jerusalem, while Christian pilgrims would be allowed to travel to the Holy City. 10. Saladin died poor. Saladin died of a fever in 1193. While he was quite rich during his life, he gave away his wealth to his poor subject, leaving nothing to pay for his own funeral.